So, we have a few more bosses that I've got to do. We're gonna wrap that up with the boss video that was quite a while ago. So, first things first, we have Ultimate Weapon. So, Ultimate Weapon appears after you defeat Diamond Weapon. So, immediately after you defeat Diamond Weapon over here, you can come over here and just start fighting Ultimate Weapon. So, before you fight Ultimate Weapon, keep in mind Ultimate Weapon is a flying type. What you're gonna want is anyone that has long range, the long range materia, any long range fires, or just use magic. Magic works just as well. So, just like in Miguel, he's very similar as in Miguel. So if you want to guard against Ultimate Weapon, let's go ahead and do this. The best way of guarding against Ultimate Weapon is give yourself some elemental with non-elemental. So something like this should be enough. And if you want extra protection so that Ultimate Weapon doesn't just outright smack you around, put on Lightning and Earth immunity if you can. So in the air, Ultimate Weapon will use Ultimate Beam, Thunderball, and he will slap you. On the ground, which you will see probably, he will basically fight like he does in Miguel. So in the air, you can steal, I believe, it's either the reflect ring or the circlet you can steal from him in the air. On the ground, it's the other one. Let's see, let's just jump on in. So, Ultimate Weapon. So he almost always starts with Ultimate Beam. Let me see if I did this correctly from an area. Yes, so, as you can see, Ultimate Beam is the only weapon that, that allows you to, that allows you to, Ultimate Beam is the only attack that is, hidden elemental. That's what I'm trying to say. So after you do a set amount of damage, Ultimate Weapon will run away, and you're going to have to chase him. As far as I recall, anytime Ultimate Weapon runs away, I believe he always respawns around the unit crater. So, we're going to be chasing him around a little bit, just so I can show you what that's like. I might have to avoid Midgard, though. If he stops around Midgard, then that's going to be a problem. Here's our Ultimate Beam, which is like whatever. I believe Ultimate Weapon has 100,000 HP, so it doesn't take much to reduce his HP. And I can speed it up to just make it faster. So overall, Ultimate Weapon, he was the only super boss that we had in the original, in the Japanese version. The OG Japanese version was the only, he was the only super boss. When we got the game in the US, we got Emerald and Ruby, and then they got Emerald and Ruby in the international version. So, if I'm not mistaken, he will always respawn over here. You do have to be a little bit quick. And then you run into Ultimate Weapon, I believe 4 times, and it will make him go to a set location. Where? We don't know, because it's random. Hopefully he doesn't stop at Midgard. So now he's going somewhere. Where? We don't know. It looks like Fort Condor. No, he's going to Miguel. So this is one of the few ground fights. Miguel, no, it's an air fight. Never mind. I'm actually surprised. I'm actually very surprised that we're fighting on the air. I think the ground fights are at, North Crater, Gongaga, and, Midgard. I don't remember if Fort Condor you fight them on the ground or not. And all other locations are in the air. Now, once you do enough damage to defeat, Ultimate Weapon, quote-unquote defeat, he will go to Cosmo Canyon. So he will end up in a specific location after you defeat him. And by defeat, I mean make him run out. Once he gets below, I think, 10,000 HP is when he goes to Cosmo Canyon. I am running out of FP. So let's see if he respawns by Junin. Quickly get back over here if I can. So this is the part where it gets a little bit tricky to find him because this guy likes to just disappear on you. Like this. He's just gone, so you're gonna have a fun time trying to keep up with him. So yeah, good luck trying to find him. This is part of the Ultimate Weapon experience. I could have sworn he respawned over here. Nope, he is just gone. He's gone somewhere. Anyways, I will see you guys for when we get Ultimate Weapon to Cosmo Canyon. And here we have Ultimate Weapon at Cosmo Canyon. Again, once you get to below 10,000 HP, he will just come over here and hang out here. So before you come here, my recommendation is stick a reflect ring on one character, and then give that one character all of the enemy skills, and let that character deal with Ultimate Weapon. The reason for this is simple. By allowing Ultimate Weapon to, by allowing this one character to fight Ultimate Weapon, they will be guaranteed to get hit by Ultimate Weapon's finishing or death attack, which is Shadow Flare. Shadow Flare is reflectable, so not only will you get Shadow Flare on all four of your enemy skill areas, but the character will live. So let's go ahead and fight Ultimate Weapon. So Ultimate Weapon, it's the exact same fight, really. There's no difference here. It's quite literally the same fight. So we're just gonna summon Bahamut Zero. Let Bahamut Zero do his thing. Again, I believe it's about 10,000 HP. You can't give him pretty much 0 HP though, and just one half him. That should be enough. And that is enough. So there's Shadow Flare, and with the Reflect Ring on, you'll be fine. And you will get Shadow Flare. Also, you get this cool glitch when he dies twice. No, you don't get the, you don't get any extra reward for him dying twice. So yeah, Ultimate Weapon, very easy fight. Put Elemental with a non-elemental materia in your armor on all three characters. If you have a level 2 elemental, then you're gonna nullify the damage. And if you have a level 3 elemental, you're gonna absorb the damage. And with that, you could go from here to the Ancient Forest if you haven't gotten here yet to begin with. So that is ultimate weapon. Now, I was going to do this as a joke video because it was just ultimate weapon. However, there are a few other bosses I forgot. So I will see you guys when I get those bosses. So, let's talk about the Wuhai bosses. I think I forgot about this one. So normally, you would come here early on after you get the Heine Bronco. I'm coming here very late in the game, so it's not going to be as much as a problem, but Raps. Raps is a very big issue. He will do a regular attack, and he will use Scorpion's Tail, which can inflict poison. On top of that, he uses this, Arrow 3, which does a crap ton of damage. It normally does around 1500 damage. I just have misstyle. So, how do you deal with Raps? Or Apps? Raps, sorry. Well, fun fact, he is not immune to gravity. So if you hook on, get some PS bombs, get at least 4 PS bombs. So 3,000. $1,500. 750. And from there, if you have a limit break, you can finish the fight pretty much immediately. Like so. Talk about timing. Like, a good, strong limit break should be enough. Obviously, that's gonna do way more, but like, if you come here with like, Clem Hazard or Blade Beam, me or Rain won't end the fight quickly. Anything that does multiple hits, that does at least 750 damage. You should be able to do more than 750 damage with a limit break. But yes, one of the few bosses not immune to gravity. He has 12,000, well, 6,000 HP? 6,000 HP, I believe. So, 3 PS bombs will give him a death range for you. Now, if you're wondering where you can grind those, you can get PS bombs from the... They're not game glows. Flat beats. They're the flying enemies outside of North Corel that use flying sickle. That hurts like a son of a gun when you fight them early on. You can steal, win, or morph it from that enemy. I would recommend get at least 5. So if you really want to, you can use 4 of them and get him to like 300 HP and finish him off from there. But at the very least, get 3 of them, so you can get him to 750 HP easily. And he's very worth it because he gives you the Peace Ring and 20,000 gil. Very worth it. Now with that, let's move on to the Pagoda bosses, who I also forgot. I mean, I only was saving them for their own video. What are you talking about? Obviously. And here we are at the Pagoda. You can do this at any time. The Raps fight you must do before the Midgard raid. So be sure to do the higher Rap section. Otherwise, you're going to be locked out of the HP and HP absorb and MP absorb areas, which would be unfortunate. Anyways, here, before you begin, again, this is doing this much later in the game. I'm trying to replicate what you would generally have here. I don't know if you can win Viper here or not, I forget. But, I would recommend putting active effect and poison in your, armor. This will help with, a later fight. If you have a couple HP pluses, obviously we're not going to be this high level. I would recommend you some HP plus. A restore is nice to have on hand. Counter for extra damage. Enemy skill, if you can, get L4 Suicide. That's going to cheese a lot of fights. White Wind's always good. A question mark, enemy skill's good. And I would recommend having Big Guard. Big Guard and Magic Hammer are both very good. And you're not gonna have double cut, that's just me putting it on there to speed things up. Also, I would put Yuffie in the back row and make sure that she has Sadness to give her damage reduction. So for this particular fight, if you have Magic Hammer, I would recommend using Magic Hammer to get rid of the MP of this guy. Now, my recommendation before that is start with Big Guard. That way you get your haste. That will help you survive. Well, it'll give you more turns. Again, you want a Magic Hammer. Keep an eye on your HP though, because he does hit hard. I think Dropkick is, I believe Dropkick is gravity based. But it can kill you. And that's why you want to try to get rid of his MP, otherwise it's going to do stuff like that. So now he has no more MP. Which is great. So sometimes he may try to do stuff that he cannot do. Let's see if Bio works. You can poison him, which is great. If you have regen, throw regen up. Regen is very good in this fight. But now that he's got poison on, that should be game, really. He is not immune, he is immune to gravity, so keep that in mind. He's not a super difficult fight. He's just, he hits like a truck, though. If you get your limit break, use your limit break. Hopefully he doesn't use Barrier or M-Barrier. I forget which one he uses. I think it's Barrier. But overall, focus on your HP. Make sure you have a lot of HP. And get rid of his MP. Inflict poison on him. Keep regen up on you if you have regen. Otherwise, make sure you heal up. You can farm for X potions outside of Wuhai if you think you need X potions. Use Cure 2 if you, have Cure 2. You should have Cure 2 by this point. And just keep going. Now, the next fight. This fight coming up. We're gonna be cheesing this fight. So normally he would just slap you a lot. And when he gets below, I think, 50% HP, he will start countering attacks with Rage Bomber, which hits like a truck. Now, we're gonna try to take care of this in 2 actions. Well, 3 actions. First off, we're gonna want to have Mighty Guard up. Well, first, let's put up, yeah, we're gonna do, Big Guard. And if you're lucky, Counter will counter his, counter, I think. So, he is not immune to L4 Suicide, believe it or not. L4 Suicide actually works on him. One of the few bosses this works on. So yeah, he'll counter with Rage Bomber. And that will be game, really. So you want a Big Guard to mitigate the damage from Rage Bomber. When you're at a lower level with worse equipment and stats, that will do up to like 1,000 damage. So you want to be able to take the hit. And I believe it's physical. Yeah, it's physical. We saw the white barrier. Otherwise, not very hard fight. Just keep your HP up. I learned about that very recently. I did not know that he was vulnerable to L4 Suicide. Same thing with Raps. I never knew that Raps was weak to gravity, which is amazing. So now we get this guy. who is going to be a fun time. So before you fight this guy, I want to make sure I have the right equipment on. So, before you fight him, where is it? I am looking for... I think it's the gem ring. I think you get the gem ring from Materia Keeper, if I'm not mistaken. You want the gem ring for this fight. Because, if I recall, is this the right guy? Yes, he likes inflict paralysis, so... As long as you have anti-paralysis, he's hardly an issue. He will drain HP from you, so you're gonna wanna try to finish him quickly. Are you immune to gravity? Let's find out. He is immune to gravity. And I'm gonna use back rev. You wouldn't have back rev normally. Well, you would if you went to, Great Glacier early on. This goes poison, so you can poison him. You can, in fact, poison him. And with the timer set to active, he should take extra damage. So, it looks like most of these guys can be poisoned, which, you know, helps a lot. Gonna go ahead and drain MP. I don't know if he has any MP left. But we might as well get some MP back. And as you saw, he took double damage there because it hit down due to the timer still going. Now he has no MP. So we can just sit here and let poison do its thing. I'm actually surprised he's not doing a absorb. There it is. So as you can see, he will drain HP from you. It's not like it's gonna be that big of a thing, you know. He's not really that hard. As long as you keep your HP up and you have immunity to paralyze, he's not a problem. And you get the ice ring. If you get the ice ring now, when you first come here, with the Tiny Bronco before you go to the Northern Continent, the ice ring will give you a little bit of an edge against Schizo. And really only Schizo. Nobody else really uses ice in the game, aside from like Bizarro Sephiroth. And here, you don't even really have to worry about much. You really don't have to worry about anything. So this guy is also weak at L4 Suicide. It's kinda hilarious. So what we're gonna do is, we're just gonna do L4 Suicide right off the bat. If you don't have L4 Suicide, you can get from around the Chocobo Farm, or around, Bone Village for the squirrel. The moves and trick plays have them. And there you go. That's how you deal with him. Kinda hilarious. You just choke 6,000 HP away and then kill him. And lastly, we have the big boss, which is Go-Go. So Go-Go is... We're gonna speed this up. He's a little bit of a tricky guy. A little bit of a tricky guy. If you have a ribbon, which you should have a ribbon from, if you use this after Temple of the Ancients, then it's a little bit easier, but, you don't really need a ribbon. What you want to have, though, is the bolt ring. So have a bolt ring. If you have not learned Trine, you can get Trine here. I would highly recommend doing this in higher rank. Well, do it all before going to the North Continent, but save go for after the North Continent. Once you get your 4th enemy skill materia, come here, equip all the enemy skill materials on Yuffie that do not have Shrine, so that you can get Shrine. And for this is why Artifact Poison is here, because Go-Go can't do Bio 2. This will nullify it. If you nullify the status, it will nullify the element and vice versa, if I recall correctly. Bolt Rage is to deal with Bolt 2 and Shrine. He will use Demi. So, I'm gonna get rid of that. I'm gonna get rid of Double Cut. What I'm going to do is... This is one of the rare times where having Elemental and Gravity will actually be a good choice. One of the few times. If you have a level 2 Elemental with Gravity, that will nullify his Demi 2, or his Demi 3. He will also use Mini, so Mini is kinda whatever, really. You'll understand why I say that in a little bit. So, I'm also gonna put this on, wait. And let's go ahead and get into the fight. So, the thing about this fight, there's 3 different heads. So, you start out with... So, normally I got started with the red head. Red head will use Beast Sword and Shrine. This head, I believe, uses, I think the Beast head also uses Bio 2, I could be wrong. I believe this head uses Mini... Demi 2. Actually, this one might use Bio 2. The white head uses, Cure 2. If I'm not mistaken. Let's find out. White head uses Bio... Okay, white head uses Bio 2. Alright. Oh, Whitehead uses Demi 3. So you do want, level 2 Elemental plus Gravity and Nullify that, because that's very, very beefy. And then he will use Beast Sword. He can also use Shrine, which is the big, thing you want from this fight. Coming in with Sadness also helps. There's Shrine, so if you never got Shrine, you can get Shrine here. I believe the yellow head uses Mini and Cure 2. So, how do we deal with this fight? Well... what if I told you he's not immune to Gravity? Yeah, goes Bio 2 for that. And what if I also told you he's not immune to Poison? So now, that he's poisoned, we just sit here and let Poison handle it. So, if you use a laser, it will half his HP. Don't use laser again, he will start using Cure 2 all the time, which is a pain in the butt. Here's Mini, which, whatever. So yeah, strategy for fight. Active effect Poison on your armor. That will negate Bio 2. Level 2 Elemental with Gravity in your armor. That will negate Demi 3. Have Bolt Ring. If you manage to get Bolt Ring from the Mithril guy. That will give you immunity to Shrine and Bolt 2. I think he uses Bolt 2, I don't recall. So the only thing you have to worry about then is Beast Sword. And Beast Sword, Mini, and... actually, I think it's only those. That's all you'll have to worry about from his attacks. So, now take care of all of that. come in with laser or Gimme Who, or come in with an ES bomb like you do with Raps. ES bomb also works, so if you don't have laser or Gimme Who, grab that around North Corral. Throw one of those, and then use Bio from the poison area to inflict poison, and then sit there and let the poison do its work. Hilariously easy! I wish I knew about this when I first played the game, or even in the earlier playthroughs of the game. Poison, Gravity, Level 4, Suicide, all very, very good enemy skills. And with that, that is it for all the missing bosses. Or is it? So, normally I would do the Emerald and Ruby weapon fight in this video, but I think I'm gonna make a separate video for that. So it's gonna be a much shorter video. It will be appended to the boss guy. Apologies for not including these guys there. I completely forgot about Loot High somehow. And Ultimate Weapon originally was left out as a bit of a joke. But, it all works out at the end, so hopefully this helps you fight Ultimate Weapon as well as the Loot High guys. Maybe you learned something that you didn't know. Maybe you learned about gravity on Go-Go and Raps. Maybe you learned about laser on Go-Go. Or that's the same thing. Maybe you learned about poison on all of them. Actually, I don't know if you can poison Raps. I can try that, but honestly, you don't need poison. And maybe you learned that L4 Suicide is a little bit better than you thought. So I will say, until next time, everyone, hopefully this guide has helped you. Do let me know if this guide plus the boss guide has been helpful. And I will catch you whenever I catch you. Until next time.